came across this message today. But with the 3 major arcana that came out, it seems like this is supposed to be like a warning type of message. Like, what are you meant to be warned of? Like, what warning do you need to hear right now? Essentially. So I have 3 piles right here. This is going to be a short, quick message. But there is something that's happening underneath the surface here in regards to all 3 piles. And Spirit is saying, like, we need to shed a little light on this because you might be feeling it, but you might not be seeing what's actually happening. So let's get into these piles. Group number 1 is Judgment. Group number 2 is the Devil. And group number 3 is the Hermit. So, group 1. This is Archangel Gabriel. I don't know why I'm being led to say that right now. So if you have been connecting to archangels lately, this might be the pile for you. Pile 1. The Devil. Pile 2. And pile 3, the Hermit. This might be for somebody who is a Virgo. This might be for somebody who's a Capricorn. Capricorn energy here with the Devil, and Virgo energy here with the Hermit. So just timestamps will be down in the description, and I will catch you guys there. Bye. Group number 1, if you chose the Judgment card, then this is your reading. I can't help but think that I'm looking at the number here, which is 20, but I'm seeing 1010 with the 2 X's. So 1010 might be a synchronicity for you at this time. What do you need to be warned of, though? This is not necessarily a bad thing. This almost feels like self-limiting beliefs on your end. It's like Spirit is saying this is your judgment call. Like, your angels are trying to lead you to somewhere better. They're trying to lead you to the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's almost like you'd rather stay in the tunnel because you know what it's giving you. You know, like, it's you are so fearful. Like, you are allowing your fears to drive you at this time, that you are not recognizing that your losses and rejections, I'm hearing taking an L, you might allow that to dictate how you move now, as opposed to learning the lesson from whatever experience that taught you. Yes, it might have given you new fears. Honestly, it's life, where you're going to gain fears and overcome them many times in life. And if you allow this spot to prevent you from acting upon the things that will make you feel proud of yourself, that will make you feel like the investments that you are making are worth the time, the effort, the energy, the patience to do so, then you'll find it more comfortable or more worth it to lower your guard, because you honestly might be ready to make a move in a completely new direction, but the idea of stepping out of your comfort zone is so fucking scary that you are like, is this worth it? Yes, it's worth it. What you are being warned about is that your fears are preventing you from seeing it, how good this thing will be, because you are so used to being behind that wall that you built up that you don't recognize, like, the grass is actually greener on the other side of that wall. You built up the wall so high that the sun doesn't even come in anymore, guys. Lower that damn wall and you'll start to see your sun come through. Notice how it's like literally being blocked by layers, because you're like an onion and nobody knows what's inside the onion. The sweetness, the goodness, because you have formed so many layers of protection around you that you are now even protecting yourself from good things to come. So what Spirit is saying is like, when good things come knocking on your door, how are you going to respond to them? Are you going to respond to them in the way of fear and almost giving yourself the chance to re-experience these fears because you're preparing for them so deeply? Or you can answer to that call of action and give yourself, your angels, and the universe, or your God, or whoever you believe in, the chance to show up on their side and say, we can make things different. Your time and your energy are worth the good things to come, and you deserve that, and you shouldn't prevent yourself from feeling that, seeing that, because your past experience made you scared. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to leave your message here because that was juicy and a little crazy. So please let me know how this resonates for you, and thank you as always for being here. Remember, be you, be amazing, and that version, that authentic version of you is always going to be the very best one. Okay? Bye. If you chose the Devil card, group 2, then this is your reading. So, what are you being warned about? You either have a toxic energy around you, or you are not recognizing your own toxic tendencies and how they are fueling the fire of, I want to just say adding fuel to the fire, because whatever that may be for you may be different. I think that's why Spirit didn't want me to kind of end that sentence. I can't help but think that you are somebody who is very defensive. You are somebody who, like, you might act cool and nonchalant and like okay with like anything that happens, you know, very go with the flow. But you also might be somebody who like is very sensitive to the point where if somebody says even the slightest thing, you're like, what did you say? Say that again. Come on, you know, like it's like immediate. Like your switch is so what do they call that? It's not important, but even so, you're like a flip the switch type of person. You're like 0 to 100. And that's because like you have been around so many people who have been like empty promises, like have tried to, that didn't even make sense. That literally wasn't even a sentence. And I'm trying to reword the sentence in my head, and I'm like, none of those words made the sentences that I wanted to. But I think you understand what I mean. And that also might be a part of this. It's like maybe you've had a lot of people in your life who said things they didn't mean, or like said things that were deeper than what they were actually able to provide for you, and you kind of now are like bitter about it. You're like, okay, well, if this is the energy that I'm getting, I might as well just be toxic back. Like this is giving like if people made you out to be the villain and you like embraced being the villain. Ooh. That made me think of a specific person. If you're watching this, LOL. And shout out to your EP. So, because it seems like 2 of Cups reverse, it's like you have let so many people in who wanted to believe that you were bad for them, even though they wanted you to be around. So you started to believe that about yourself. You're like, well, if everybody makes me feel this way, I must be this way. And that's not true at all. And I think you're hypersensitive to what people say to you or about you. You might be somebody who has a hard time with internalizing the words people say to you or about you. But this is not something that you can't rise above. I think this is just a matter of not letting other people's energy dictate how you see yourself. And that might be a wound that you're actively working through at this time. So what you're being warned of is other people, they almost want you to believe them more than you believe yourself. But what this message is trying to say is like, your defenses are valid, but you don't have to use them, because you don't have to believe people. You don't have to believe them. Whatever version that they choose of you is their own internal world and their own problems, creating a narrative of you that makes them feel better about themselves. That has literally nothing to do with you. So if you have adopted certain tendencies or certain toxic mindsets because of the way other people have treated you, you don't have to be that way. You don't have to choose that anymore. That's not who you actually even were in the first place. It just made it easier to cope with the feelings that all the empty promises and all of the love that you were giving to other people that you thought were going somewhere and it didn't. Like, that doesn't mean that the effort that you gave forth to them was not worth it. You are doing so, you're doing so much without having to do so much. And I think that's why people are so affected by your energy, because you don't realize that the reason why people attack you is because your authenticity is just, it's so potent, you know, like you're the sun. People just feel you just because you're around, you know, like it's the sunlight, like just being outside, you see it, you feel it, you know, and that's just how you are the sun. And when people feel threatened by that in their own sense, they're going to try and attack in order to make themselves feel protected. And you might be in that energy because people made you feel like that for so long. So one, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. And two, you can learn, or rather relearn, healthy relationships again. You don't have to be stuck in this, only toxic people come towards me, I have to deal with this type of dynamic. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way anymore. Okay? And that's what you're being warned of, is if you still have these kind of toxic dynamics, it's because there's something that you, either you're not like, it almost seems like you're not willing to accept that you deserve better, so you accept these types of connections into your life. And what you're being warned of is what you feel like you deserve is what you're welcoming in. That hit hard. That hit hard. Because now I'm thinking of that phrase, that like quote from Perks of Being a Wallflower. We accept the love we think we deserve. Okay. I'm going to leave this message here because this was a toughie. This was heavy. So I am sending you lots and lots of love. You are amazing just as you are. And I'm sorry that people tried to dim your light, but your light is not something other people can dim. Okay? So, sending you lots of love. Remember, be you, be amazing, and always know that's the best version. Bye. My group number 3s. If you chose the Hermit card, then this is what do you need to be warned of? What do you need to be warned of, honestly, is that what you're doing to protect yourself in order keeping yourself away from other people is the best thing that you could be doing for yourself. You have people who are talking. You have people talking, period. There's something that you've done that has made other people feel extremely insecure, and they don't know how to handle the way that you have either cut them off, because this Queen of Swords reverse is almost giving like you've cut people off and now they don't have access to you in the same way that they once did. So instead of talking to you, they're talking about you. And they're not speaking on truth. They're speaking on their perspective, which is not based in fact. And that's where this is, this might get a little fuzzy, because since you have taken your energy out of the situation, other people might believe this person or this group of people because they are only hearing it from their side. They're only hearing their side of the story. So what you're being warned of is that some people are hearing the wrong side of the story, or the exaggerated, dramatized story for whoever person's speaking it, their benefit. They're not speaking this situation in regards to like, you know how like there's 3 perspectives of every scenario, where it's like yours, mine, and then the truth. You know, they're speaking it from their side, and you not giving anything to it or about it is, it's almost giving like people like want to know your side, because they almost feel like listening to this person, they can't be this like your reputation is so pure, is so like the gray in this card, gray in tarot in general, stands for wisdom and typically age, because age and wisdom, you know, go hand in hand. So the thing about this card specifically is that like it talks about the wisdom of going alone and being able to find the knowledge within yourself through your experiences and wisdom, right? So it's almost like people know that this person is kind of shit spilling, essentially. Like, people can tell just by who you are in your energy that whatever this person might be saying, it can't be the full story, because that doesn't even line up to who you are as a person or who your reputation is. So I think the people who are listening to whoever is wanting to talk, they understand that this is coming from a place of insecurity and from feeling singled out by you. Because this person feels extremely cut off. Or I don't want to say just person, this scenario, because it might be a scenario, it could be work for some of you. You know, there's like a group of work, like coworkers that are now like talking about your scenario, and then like the one person who feels like, who took it personally, is like trying to speak their piece on it, and then everybody else around them is kind of like, yeah, but they wouldn't say that, they wouldn't react that way, you know? So everybody else is now questioning the person and the situation, and because you're so far removed, nobody knows how to get to you, nobody knows how to access you, because you chose your peace. And these people basically proved why you had to choose your peace. And this person might have been really cruel or very like opinionated and wanted you to just deal with it. And because you decided not to, and because you decided to be like your own advocate in a very blunt way, it did not go over well in this person's mental space. Because now they're reflecting in a way of like, well, I can't be the bad guy. Like this is so like victim mentality. Like, well, I have to be the victim here. Even if you're the one who was hurt initially, I have to be the victim somehow. And everybody else is starting to see like how this person is handling it and how you're handling it. And they're kind of looking at this and being like, well, they're handling in this situation really different. So you might not be, you can't, like, there's no way that you could be right about this. If this person is handling the situation like this, you can't, something's not adding up. And I think that's what the audience that's hearing this talk is definitely confused on, like, what the person is saying. So at least for you, you can be reassured in the fact that, like, who you are at the end of the day is not being questioned, even if this person is trying to get people to have your reputation questioned. Because at the end of the day, this person probably didn't know you that well in order to do all these things to you or not see you very clearly in the first place. Like, there has to be a reason why you chose to go your own way in general. And this person might just not be happy that you did that and they had no control over that. So what they're doing now is trying to control the narrative. Very crazy, very weird. And I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. So know that your energy is being felt genuinely, even if this person is trying to dictate the scenario differently, okay? All right. What you need to do, pile group 3, you need to go take a spiritual bath, a spiritual cleanse, go for a walk, sit outside, light some incense, do something to cleanse today. Because you might be feeling the effects of this person or these people talking about you, and it might make you feel on edge when you shouldn't be feeling on edge, you know? Okay, so I am sending you lots and lots of love. Please know that you are protected by your spiritual team at all times, and if you need any extra reassurance, veil, call upon them at any time. Say, like, if you feel like you have to go into a scenario where you're about to feel uncomfortable, sit in your car and pray for a moment and be like, angels, guides, God, whoever you're talking to, like, I need your strength, protection, and divine help in this situation so I don't feel out of control, I don't feel out of my body, and I can handle this as authentically and happily me as possible. I hope that makes sense, but it will make sense to the people who are meant to hear it. So sending you lots and lots of love. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.